Hello and welcome to BarEye's Manager Training Series. This is BarEye CEO Jamie, and rather than make you read this document, this video is quickly going to bring you up to speed on the things as a manager or owner we need you to do so that we can provide the best service possible. Just a quick mention, this is the video for full service clients, so if you're a SelfCount or SpeedCount Pro client, please watch the other video. So jumping into the introduction, what is BarEye? So BarEye is a inventory service and system for bars and restaurants, and basically we enable bars to make more money by providing them with more detailed, accurate and independently produced information. The key difference with BarEye's system is that we, in addition to providing liquor cost, we provide you with accountability. And what we mean by accountability is by precisely comparing how many ounces of every product were poured versus actually sold. So a quick explanation here. Most bars, and you're probably familiar with this, do their inventory each period and they calculate their liquor cost. The liquor cost tells them how many dollars or how much money they have to spend in order to get every dollar in sales. So for instance, if you have a 20% liquor cost, it means for every dollar in sales you spend 20 cents. The system works well to tell you how much money you're making, but it breaks down a little bit when you try and identify the performance of individual products, because you're kind of lumping lots of different products together into one number. So what we mean by accountability is to take the numbers a step further, to look deeper into the numbers, and we precisely compare for every single product how many measures were rung to the point of sale system and compare that to how many were actually poured, and by comparing the two we get an accountability score, a percentage score, and then we aggregate that up for every product in the bar, giving you an overall accountability score for your bar, and that simply tells you for every 100 servings of product how many were actually sold. So this higher level of granularity and accuracy requires an additional level of attention to detail. For instance, if you're using a clipboard system to calculate your liquor cost, if you forget to count the odd bottle, it probably won't show up, whereas with our system it will show that you're missing those 2 bottles, and therefore it's important that we recognize that and pay extra attention, follow the sort of training pieces and our systems that we've developed in order to keep accurately. And what I mean is we're chasing after a lot less false variances because we were told on the front end what the cause of those were, and we can focus our attention where we've got problems or where there's opportunities to do better. So obviously comparing what's been poured versus actually sold, we're pretty good, and it's pretty straightforward for us as a company to identify what's been poured, because all the liquor bottles are the same at all different bars. What is different and specific to each bar is your point of sale system and setup. And so in order to interact with your sales system, we write recipes for every single button in the system, and that again in aggregate produces your sales and is a very important feed into this system. So it's important that you take the time to look at the recipe assumptions we're using and sign off on them and tell us any occasions where we've got the assumptions wrong, because obviously those will have a very direct impact on your assumptions. We do this professionally, so generally we're pretty good at it, but as important as having those correct is that you've looked at them and that you not only think they're correct, but you know they're correct because you've looked at them, and that in turn will mean that you're more confident going to your staff, you're more confident in the results, and ultimately you'll make the system more effective. So finally, for the intro, our guiding philosophy is to do it right the first time, so we can focus on improving the results, not producing the results. So what I mean by that is simply, there's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle, and we want to, in the first couple of months, iron out any issues we're having with the recipes, with the inventory, the invoices, gathering procedures, all that sort of stuff, so that producing our reports becomes relatively straightforward. We're not having to come back to you with extra back and forth and chase after pieces of paper. What that means is we can give you your results fast, the same day as we do the counts, and in turn that will mean that you'll spend less time, as said, producing them, more time using the results, and ultimately, hopefully, we're more of a service, and ultimately, we'll also have more effect on your profits.